John, finishes 2-1 on the night. Just give us your assessment of the overall performance.
Well, losing at home is never acceptable. You know, I feel sorry for the fans. I can apologise to the fans, but you know, it'll fall on deaf ears. You know, I know what it feels like to be a fan. It'll fall on deaf ears. You know, the boos are there at the end. A little bit hurtful when you hear the fans singing, you know, mocking us that we've scored a goal, our own fans. That's a little bit sad to hear. But we killed ourselves when we took the lead. You could see the fear in us. You could see the fear in that we haven't won for ages. I don't know what I've got to do to get a win, because the amount of opportunities we've had to win games in the last month is off the graph. So I've got to take responsibility, and maybe that's with my substitutions. You know, I thought we were on top when I made the substitutions, and it weakened us, and not the players who came on. I just think that the substitutions themselves weakened us in the fact that we lost our momentum. We didn't get out enough. We left a lot of space in midfield and we got picked off. And they were able to run the clock down. Between 75 and 85, they had the lion's share of the ball, and they were making the chances, which is, you know, we're desperate for a win at home. So I've got to take the responsibility for that. I've got to take the blame for that. And that's no disrespect to the players who come on, far from it. You know, we went with a very attacking team tonight. I was desperate for us to take the lead. We did, with a great goal by Nev. And we only had to get into half time. And, you know, they had a couple of shots blocked. We sat off them. We let them have the ball. Our clearances weren't positive enough. And we looked weak-minded, to be fair. And that goes without when you haven't won for ages. And we looked scared to win. We come out in the second half, you know, full of gusto. You know, I'd like to see it again. I think it's a clear foul for us on the edge of their box. Instead of us taking a free kick, the ball's up the other end and it's in our net. Now that's no excuse. That's far from. Don't think that I'm trying to hide behind anything here, because we should defend that miles better than what we did. But then you're 2-1 down in a game that they've barely laid a glove on us for 40 minutes, and then they've scored 2 in 3 minutes. So from you think that you're going to go and win the game, you're chasing the game. Too often this season we've been in a situation of chasing the game. Then we had a really good 25-minute spell where we pinned them back. I've lost count of the number of times we've had shots blocked on the line, hit the underside of the bar with an open goal. You know, you just feel as though you're cursed. But you've got to keep going, you've got to keep fighting through it, and you've got to believe it's going to be your day. And the minute you think that, or you believe it's not going to be your day, you're going to get results like that, and it's not acceptable. Well, the players will have to come in tomorrow, you know, they'll have to forfeit the days off. They've got to learn, and they've got to see out the importance of winning games for our fans, and for themselves, and for the club itself. You know, we're putting ourselves into a relegation fight that we should be nowhere near. Now, there's been excuses for the last 4 games because we've had horrendous refereeing decisions. We have, you know, and I've tried to butter it up and be nice, but we've had 4 horrendous decisions in 4 games. There's no excuse tonight. No excuse at all. That was a game that we manufactured to lose that we could have easily won. And that's, you know, I've got to take the responsibility for that because I organised the team. So I have to take the blame. And the players have got to shoulder the responsibility. And that's going to be more hard work. And if it keeps them without days off, that's what it'll be. But, you know, I won't have the days off. I want the players. I want the players to care. I think they do care because you can see how much they worked hard. But then we get so disjointed, we get so out of touch with each other. It was similar to Saturday in the fact that last 15 minutes we looked sapped of energy. And I know that comes with the territory where we are, but we've got to stick our chest out and be brave and bold. And when we get 1 goal, we've got to go and get another one. Not go into our shell and sit back and, you know, it's so frustrating. So I can only imagine what the fans are feeling, you know, and I'd be the same if I was a Gillingham fan, which I am now. But, you know, I'd feel the same if I was paying my money on the terraces. You know, I'm seeing a lot of effort, but I'm seeing stupid things occur. Things that shouldn't happen on a football pitch, but are happening on a regular basis. That's up to me to stop it.
John, appreciate your time. Thanks ever so much. Ben.
John, you said about picking an attacking team for this one, and you're obviously trying to guess a little bit pre-game where you're going to pick some of those forward players. Obviously, Elliot never played a bit deeper. Ollie Hawkins coming in from the start. How did you think he did? Obviously,
I think Ollie did well. I think he led the line really well. You know, the thing that really annoys me when you get players like Ollie is that because they're big, players are allowed to rip the shirt off the back the whole game. I don't think he got a foul. I think he got one foul. And they must have been 8 or 9. That could have easily been given. And you know, that goes with the tendency of being a big target man. I think the referee, I thought, handled the game quite well, but it's difficult for him. You know, because he doesn't want to be stopped starting the game all the while. And I don't think anyone wants to see that, but if people are fouling you on a regular basis like they were tonight, they should be given an end. The only way to stop it is you have to issue yellow cards. If people are persistently fouling someone, you have to issue yellow cards. You know, I don't want to see anyone get booked, but that's the only way you stop persistent fouling. And when Ollie plays, he gets persistently fouled.
And you went pretty direct with those kind of 3 forwards on the pitch. And at one point in the second half, you know, you were putting a lot of balls into the box, a lot of bodies in the middle, you're causing a threat. I can see what you're saying about the subs. You're trying to put a couple of wingers on and have more attacking threat, and it just sort of faded away a little bit.
Fizzled out. You know, the big threat that we had tonight was the long throw. They couldn't handle the long throw. And now we didn't score from... Ironically, we scored off a short throw, but how we didn't score from at least 3 of them, I don't know. But you've got to get the players into the right positions. You know, we're trying to educate Joe. He's taking himself out the game. He's wandering under the ball. It's always going to go over his head. You know, and we told him about this in the first half. And then the second half, the ball goes to the back post and there's nobody there. Well, there is somebody there and it gets blocked, but he'd be heading it in. And, you know, the young lads, you've got to try and educate them, and you've got to try and soak them with information and hope that some goes in. As I said before, I can't fault the effort. You know, and I questioned the effort earlier on in my tenure here. I can't fault that now, but it's a bit of guile that we're lacking, and we're not getting connected with each other. So the back 3 is getting so disconnected from the midfield late on in games that we're letting them have space to turn and run down the clock or attack us. And that shouldn't be the case.
Albeit it was an old problem before you were here, but this has happened a few times this season that Gills have taken the lead at home here at Priestfield, and then lower half of the table teams have kind of done you in the second half and scored a couple of goals, and I think it's 18 points from winning positions that Gills have dropped this season. I mean, what does that say to you? Is that a mentality thing? Is that a naivety?
I think it's a mentality thing for sure, and you know, I'm thinking, where's my next win coming from? You know, that's the big thing. You know, because ultimately it doesn't matter that, you know, I think there has been an increase in tempo, an increase in effort. I think we played some really good football tonight. Some good passing moves that got us in. But you judge on results, and it's no point improving the style of football and improving the endeavour if the end result of the quantifiable currency in football is winning games or scoring goals. If that's not there, then you know you have to take the rap for it. You know, and I've got to take the blame for it. You know, as I said before, we had the last 4 games we've had big excuses, very, very unlucky. And you wouldn't see a team be that consistently unlucky with 4 major decisions go against it. But there's no excuse tonight. You know, there's no hiding behind anything. And I haven't decided to hide behind it in the last 4 games because I don't want to be that person. You know, I don't want to. What about this? What about that? You know, let's be accountable. And I've got to be accountable for the loss tonight. And that's the harsh reality of football.
You sound pretty deflated because you're a winner, John. I guess the players must have been pretty similar in the dressing room.
I'm deflated because I can take it if a team comes and outplays you and is better than you. They weren't better than us tonight, by any stretch of the imagination. We've missed gilt-edged chances that most teams in this league take. For some reason, we just can't seem to put the ball in the net. All right, we did once tonight. But, you know, 1 goal at home. You know, when was the last time we scored 2 goals? You know, certainly it's not since I've been here. And I've never had any of my teams do this. So I'm scratching my head myself. But I've got to be accountable. You know, it's not good enough. The chances that we miss, it's just not good enough. And, you know, we have to go with these players again. You know, this is the squad we've got till the end of the season, and we've got to try and rally them and keep working hard with them and encouraging them. And it's difficult because sometimes you want to be hard on them, but, you know, you don't want to send them under. And I think they need support. They're definitely going to need the crowd support on Saturday, that's for sure. And they're going to need my support. But they've got to learn, and they've got to realise the importance of getting the job done properly. And that was a game that should have been, it was ours for the taking tonight. We found a way to manufacture defeat from what looked like, I thought the only thing we had to do was score. Because I couldn't see them scoring in the first half, up to us scoring. And then we set off them. So, and then they could have scored a couple more in the second half, you know, so I was disappointed with the second goal that they scored. Good goal from their point of view, but, you know, we've got 3 men getting taken out with 1 pass, and then we haven't sacked a running into the box for the goal, so, you know, he's put it in well. But that's our fault. You know, we should be a lot tighter, and we shouldn't. First couple of minutes of the second half, you shouldn't be that open, but that's football.
John, do you fear that you're getting dragged into a relegation battle?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know, we haven't won. Well, I think it's 11, 12 games we haven't won. It's amazing that we're not near the bottom already, but we've got to fight. And anybody who knows me knows I'll fight. But I'll back me players as well. I'll throw myself under the bus for any one of me players. So, you know, we're all in it together. I know there's a winning team in there. I've just got to coax it out of them as best I can. And that might be by tough love, that might be by putting an arm around them, but I've got to coax a winning team out of them because I know they are a winning team. There's really, really good players there. And we've just got to make the most of them on Saturday and hope that it's going to be our day Saturday. Well, not hope, make it our day Saturday, but believe it's going to be our day. And, you know, if we work hard enough, I think we'll get what we deserve.
Important game as well, isn't it? Judging by the positions of the teams, more coming sort of second bottom.
Yeah, it is, yeah, without a doubt. But, you know, we've passed up a big opportunity tonight, particularly after taking the lead. And that's hard to take for anyone, let alone a manager or a football fan. But, you know, that's the nature of the business that we're in. And you've got to rise above that. You know, we've got a big game Saturday and we've got to focus on all our attention on Saturday.
Did look like it was going to be a good day. Nev gets his goal, finally gets his goal, and everyone's sort of happy, but it didn't last long.
It didn't last long, you know. I think they scored, what, 10 minutes after we scored? But we'd stopped trying to score again. I don't get that. You know, we'd had the lion's share of the game up to that point, and then we'd retreat and invite them on and get punished 30 seconds before half time. You know, I think I was pissed. I could see it coming, and you're trying to alter our shape just to get a foothold in the game, or not a foothold in the game, just to stop them having an attack. And they had 1 attack that led to 7 attacks, and they scored with the 7th attack. No, we've got to be better than that. You know, the ball's being palmed out to the touchline. We're slow to react to get out there. We let another cheap cross in, a cheap pass into our box, a set. You know, where's our players there defending? You know, going to defend like the lives on it. And they looked as though they were, because they were throwing the bodies in the way at one stage. But then you get disconnected, and I go back to the fact that it's a fear of winning now. I think that They've lost the habit of winning, and they've lost the feeling of how it feels to win, and they know how to win a game. And you know, I've been doing this best part of half my life, 45% of my life. I've been winning games. This is totally alien to me. You know what? For my own sanity, I've got to get back winning. Let alone, you know, for the position of the club itself. So, you know, we're all in this together. And as I said, I'll shoulder the blame because I've got to organise this team to win a game of football. And you mark my words, I will.
And you just asked one more. Dom Cornet's not here today, was it injury, was it?
No, we just felt like we lacked attacking options on the bench.